Andrew Krystal with you. This is Sirius XM Channel 167.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars.
Colin Hunter is a jazz musician.
Let me see.
He's also the founding president, chairman of the board, and owner of Sunwing Travel. He marries music
Oh, my hand.
and travel.
In other words,
Is music the muse, Colin Hunter, that keeps you going? Because it's, you wear many hats. It's what you've done to build your company is pretty incredible. So what really makes you, music's always been a part of your life. Has that helped you in business?
Not really.
It's a release for you.
It is a release. It's my hobby. It's something that I've gone back to now that I've been able to hand over all the heavy-duty work to my son, Stephen. So Stephen's the CEO, and he runs the company now. It gives me lots of spare time to do the stuff that I want to do, which is music.
And what is the, you like jazz, swing, what a big band, that sort of that whole Sinatra era. What has brought you to that era of music?
I guess it was just the music that I grew up with and that I was most familiar with, because I think most people tend to gravitate to the music of their teens, 20s, because after that you don't seem to have enough time to get into the groove.
I always wondered when I was a kid growing up, I'd see these guys with Elvis Presley haircuts.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, and they would have them for forever. They'd be 90 with the Elvis Presley haircut.
Right.
They never changed because that music was always with them at that impressionable age.
Yeah.
Right.
Because after that, I don't think people have enough time in their daily lives to really get into the music of the time.
And the convenient thing is for punk rockers is when they go into the seniors' homes, they can take the safety pin out of their ear and put it around their pants. So you get a beautiful circle of life. Let's talk about the Sunwing. It's not easy. The travel industry is very cutthroat. It's very difficult. Margins can be tough. How have you been able to create this family business where other people have failed? What have you done? What have you done right?
Well, I think I learned from past associations, and this time I just got the pieces right. We built a vertically integrated company that has the tour operation, started with the tour operation, then we added the airline, then we added the transfer companies and the tour companies at the destination, and now we're adding the hotels for the past few years. So we've got a pretty good vertically integrated company that gets a little profit of everything, so that
you're able to make it work.
Yeah, it works.
How has Colin Hunter, as the founder of Sunwing Vacations, Sunwing Travel, how has travel changed? Is it the same?
It's got a little more concentrated in fewer hands now. The airlines never used to be in the travel business, in the package industry. People like Air Canada and WestJet just went in it when we started in the 70s and the 80s. But now they've figured out that a way for them to use their spare capacity in the winter months is to throw it all on the south.
What about the new places to travel, new destinations that have opened up? Because we know, there's popular waves. Every decade it's got a thing, right?
Well, I think it's still, the big volume's still going to Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and Mexico.
Because of the value.
And because of the value. I think the Dominican Republic and Mexico and Cuba all have that in common. People that want the cheapest prices probably go to Cuba, and then after that, the DR and Mexico, in that order.
Jamaica's always been a place I've been concerned about with crime. I'm not a big. I've not been there. Am I wrong?
You're wrong.
Happens a lot.
I think the problems that Jamaica has at the moment confined to the big cities of Montego Bay and Kingston.
But on the resorts, you're okay.
And that's mostly to do with drug buying and selling. So if you're not buying and selling drugs, it's unlikely that anybody's going to interfere with you.
Carl's the producer here. Carl, you can't go to Jamaica as a result of this.
I love Jamaica.
I know. Well, you see there,
It's tremendous.
He's got that other business he operates.
We've got 3 great all-inclusives in Jamaica that you should go to. Go to the one in Negril, which is my favorite resort in Jamaica.
Everyone, and I'm sure Colin Hunter, as the president of Sunwing, jazz musician, people will ask you this, and I'm sure you've been asked. It's like when a doctor goes to a party, everybody bugs the doctor. People will ask you, what's the best place to go to, right? You get asked that a million times. What do you say that? What are your favorite places to go to? Because you can go anywhere.
I like seeing the world. I've been all over the world. My favorite place to go is Polynesia.
Really? So Malaysia,
that's the
Tahiti.
one. That's the one place that my wife and I say we should go back to.
South Pacific, Tahiti.
South Pacific, magnificent. Tahiti.
Is that your favorite place, Tahiti?
All the islands. That's my favorite place in the world.
What has changed with the Cuban experience? So many Quebecers. We'll talk about where British Columbians go. They tend to we tend in this country to follow longitudinal paths, not latitudinal, longitudinal. So if you're in Vancouver, you go to California. If you're in the Midwest, you go to Texas, and if you're in Ontario or Quebec, you'll go to Florida or Cuba. Let's talk about Florida, or talk about Cuba rather. Has that, because so many Canadians go, has that gotten better? Is there things that we should be looking out for?
I think the Cuba still has the best beaches in the world.
Really?
Yeah. Well, in this hemisphere, certainly got the best beaches. The only beaches that you can walk all the way out in the ocean, and just the water comes up very gradually, and long stretches of beaches you can walk for miles. It's and great value for money, but you'd be hard pressed to find the 5-star and 6-star quality hotels.
Right. I didn't mind the food in Cuba. Some people complain about it.
Well, I think if you go there with high expectations, you'll be sorry. But if you go there not expecting too much in the way of luxury, you'll be fine.
So I want to go back now to music. What is the most difficult thing to do when it comes to music and approaching some of these standards, like a Sinatra, Come Fly With Me, Fly Me to the Moon? Do we have some more? Let's have some more, Colin Hunter. Is it difficult when you've got some standards that everybody's familiar to, doing the phrasing and the timing and getting that right? Because people are reminded of Sinatra, a good band behind you too. Like you got a lot of balls to sing this stuff. You know? I will tell you.
I never really thought about it. It's the music I grew up with, and I sing.
Is it tough with the phrasing? Sinatra was always known for his phrasing. The way he would pause and let something settle in, talk the songs through.
No, I don't think so. I think through the years, my favorite singers were always Sinatra, Tony Bennett, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., all the guys from that era, Nat King Cole. And they were all good with their phrasing.
And jazz as a musical form has been very important to you.
Yeah, well, today all that music from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s all become jazz, right?
What are some? Where can we see you perform?
you can see me perform next week, 15th, 16th, 17th at the Jazz Bistro in Toronto. That's near Dundas Square. And then
We're going to come see you. And, you know, they can book on Sunwing to come to Toronto and see Colin Hunter.
oh, I don't think they'll be doing that. But the people that are in Toronto can come and see me and in Toronto, and if they want to see me in Montreal or Quebec City, they just got to go on my website colinhunter.ca, and it lists all my performance dates.
Performing across the country, Colin Hunter, a jazz star, as well as the founding president, chairman of the board, and owner of Sunwing Travel. Thank you so much for joining us, Colin Hunter.
Thank you, Andrew.
See you folks next week.